G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of the full campaign of Stalingrad 42 from GMT and Mark Simonich. And before we go on with the next turn, which is turn 28, which is our first winter turn, we have to finish off now the winter offensive stuff. So on the turn following the start of the winter offensive, which was last turn, sequence of play switches and the Soviet player turn goes first for the rest of the game. Between the two back-to-back Soviet player turns, the Axis player has an interchange turn. So the interchange turn is made up of 3 phases. We have a movement phase during which the Axis units not in full retreat may use tactical movements, and units may detrain, but no train movement is allowed. So I'll have a look at what I want to do movement-wise for the Axis forces, and then come on back to you. Won't be long. Okay, so I've detrained my stuff, so we'll look at movement. So we're going to start down here. So tactical movement, 1 or 2 hexes. We're going to go 1, 2 to there. We're going to go, oh, I don't really want to move him, do I? Duh. We're going to come back 1 to here, and we're going to come back 1 to, no we're not. We're going to go 1, 2 to here, like that. Right, and that's just to try and consolidate, get them out of the way, and all the rest of it. And then we'll come down here to the Taman area. I'm going to move this guy forward to here, along with this guy and this guy. Like that. He'll move over to here. These Italians will come forward 1, 2, along with these guys here. And this guy will go 1, 2 to here. 17th will go 1, 2. Supply will go 1, 2. This little fella here will come down into here, and just put our grey block on there. We'd already taken that before. Okay, we'll just put that back on there like that, and we'll just put this guy back under here. Right. So that's the tactical movement for them down there. We'll come over here towards Stalingrad. And this guy is going to go 1, 2 to here. 1 Panzer is going to go forward. It's got its off-base prep. And this one will go 1, 2 with that, like that. This will come forward 1, 2, along with 6th Army, its supply and its prep. This guy will just move 2. I think we need to hold, so 1, 2, he's coming back. This guy's coming down, 1, 2 to here. These two are coming down, 1, 2. This guy is going 1, 2. This guy is going 1, 2. This guy is going 1, 2. And these guys are going 1, 2 up to there. Because we don't know whether the rest of these Russian forces may come in. Okay, over this way, I'm going to move 4 Panzer and its supply into here, like that. I'm going to move these guys down, 1, 2, so we've got Zockbond across there if nothing else. These guys are going 1, 2. The same with these here. Going 1, in fact, let's bring him up 1, 2 and take him let's keep them together. And these guys here will go 1, 2 and 1, 2 to beef that up. Okay, coming over this way, I'm going to move these guys 1 to here. These guys are going to come down 1, 2 to there, and this guy's going to come over 1, 2 into here. Up here, we're going to move this guy forward 1, 2. The others can stay there like that, and this one here, 4th Romanian, will come up 1. Let's just move him to there for the time being. Okay, down this way, we're going to bring this fella over 1, 2. This one will come over 1, 2, 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, and he can go across. That's part of the winter stuff, so I'll go through that at the same time. And that's all the movement for them. Okay, so once we've done that, we have limited combat where we can conduct disengagement, but no combat is allowed. So let's see if we want to conduct any disengagement. And there's nothing down south we want to disengage from. And I don't think there's anything up here that we can disengage from. So no. And then we have a rally phase. All Axis units may rally, and we have our disrupted North Caucasus volunteers down there, which I forgot to put a disrupted on before. I put it on and I've removed it. So that's done. So there is no initial phase or supply phase after the mini turn and the turn switches back. So that's the end of the Axis mini turn. And then we go on to the Soviets being first now. So what I want to do is we'll just go over to winter. And so the Russian winter turns. Starts on turn 28, which we're on. So Axis attack strengths, all units on or north of hex row 43, the two north maps, have their attack strength reduced by 1 but never below 1. So if we have a look, this is row 43. So everything basically north of this line, Axis-wise, we have 1 less attack strength for each unit. Defense strengths, all Axis units on or north of that line that are not in a city, town, or completed fortification, or adjacent to a friendly controlled major city, have their defense strength reduced by 1, but never below 2. Units with the defense strength of 1 or 2 are ineffective. Always apply the -1 before halving or doubling. All Alpine hex sides are now impassable for all units, including mountain units, for the rest of the game. And entry area K is no longer usable, which was this one down here. So no longer be usable by anybody. All major rivers, not the Volga, on maps A and B. So again, everything north. They all freeze. This has no effect on their combat benefit, but movement across is reduced to 1 movement point for non-mechanized and +2 for mechanized. So +1 for foot, +2 for mechanized. Units do not have to start adjacent to a frozen major river hex side to move or advance across, nor are they eliminated if they retreat across an unbridged frozen river hex side. All lakes in or touching desert hexes freeze, which is this area over here. So desert area, all these lakes freeze, including these ones here. And that's it. I'll put that back on there and that back on there. So all of these are frozen now. For combat and movement purposes, they are treated as a frozen major river hex side. So that's that. So what we move into next is the actual turn 28, which is the Ruskies. Yay! Okay, so initial phase, there's no air units for them. Remove train markers, there's none to remove. Fortifications under construction are now completed. And we have no fortifications under construction, so that's not a problem. Allocate 2 Axis resource points. And I don't know what to do. We don't have any supply at the moment, but can I convert any supply? No. 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 It don't look like it, 'cause everything's over here ready to come on. So the only resource points I could put in would be more whatchamacalls-it, fortifications. And I don't know where I'd want to actually do that. I don't really need to anywhere. So, no, it's not going to happen. Spend SPs to flip ASUs. Righto, so over here we can spend this supply point to flip Stalingrad. I don't think we have one there. Yes, we do. We can spend this one to flip southwest. Arr. Sorry, bumping stuff. Like that. We can spend this one to flip south. That was on there, and that was on there. And that is it. Right. Reinforcements, and this time they only get what do they get? They've got one guard army. Okay. So, one guard, which will come on up there, and we'll have to find some units for it. Now, one guard army can have a limit of 2 tank or mech corps and 1 free stacking unit. Okay. So we'll sort that out during the movement phase. They'll both come up on B. Replacements, and they get 1 tanky and 3 infantry. Okay. 1 tanky and 3 infantry. Righto. I might pause it there and have a look around and see what I can come up with. Won't be long. Okay, so my replacements are going to be this elite infantry from here, and then I'm bringing on, I'm bringing back this reduced one, and this for the tank. And 1 and 2 are going to go straight into First Guard Army. That gives me my free stacking unit and an infantry in there as replacements, like that. Right, so that's done. We don't have any Axis leaders to flip, and our planned offensive markers are good to go. So we're into movement, so I'll pause it there, do the movement, and come on back. Won't be long. Okay, I screwed up. Ta-da! Nothing special there. I forgot to do weather because I'm not used to doing it for the Soviet turn. So we're going to do weather before we go on with movement. Apologies. I will get it right sometime. And we have a 5 And a 5 in that is clear. So we have clear weather. Righty-o. So movement-wise, let's come over this way first. So what I want to do is I'm going to move these two forward to here. And this guy here is going to be sneaky. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into there and take that victory point hex back, which drops the axis down to 25. Like that. Okay, so that's movement there. There's nothing down around the Tamman at all. So next sneaky thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little fella here and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to take that one back as well. Now, they're not necessarily going to hold them or anything else, but we've taken the initiative away from the Germans and now they're down to 24. And again, they still have to hold 24 for this turn. So, dun, dun, da, at the end of this turn, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Righto. Next, let's come over to Stalingrad area. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this little fella forward. 1, 2 into there. And we're going to take this supply back 1, 2 into there. Like that. And this little fella here is going to come forward as well. And he can go half, half, 1, and he can just slot into there. 1, 2, 3, which gives him range to help any of these here. Then we have our 3 lots of little fellas here that are going to come up half 1, half 2, half 3, half 4, half 5 for all 3 of them. Coming up the road. And yes, I could have railed them in, but I don't need to at the moment, so I'd rather not. There is no movement up that way, so it's all over here. So I've moved this fella here off this stack so he can still play. These are all our other replacements. I'm going to move this guy over to 1 guards army, which still leaves me 1 armoured slot over there, or mechanised slot over there. I'm going to bring this guy over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to here, and the cavalry will simply come up with him to there, like that. 5 tank army is going to come down 1, 2, no, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. This fella here is just simply going to move here, like that. And I think that's all our movement done. So we're ready for combat. So again, pause it there, come on back. Rightio, we're good to go. So we'll start over in Stalingrad, and we're going to attack out of here into this little fella here. So that's 6 to 6, which is a 1-to-1, with support from this artillery is 2-to-1. Two to one for a 2 is an exchange. So he drops 1 and we drop 1, and they're both the same. So fumble fingers. So that's gone. That's gone, and they're gone. And that's it over there. Right. Next, we'll come up here, and we've got a 2-to-1 with these units against this little fella here. Two to 1 for a 5 is an A1D1 advance 2. So he's gone. I don't want to put a remnant in there, or do I? Yeah, we will, just to try and hold it. So I'm going to put remnant L in there for the A1, D1. I think what he'll do is he'll take it on this little fella here, like that. Now, so he has to retreat, which he can do, but he doesn't really want to. I've got nothing to support him. He is in the clear. It'd be a determined defense. But basically everything in the determined defense, 2/3 of it he's going to lose. A little man. So do I defend it, or do I run away? Run away, run away. That is the question. Either way, that looks like they're going to get it. But I could be lucky. We're going to do a determined defense. It's a straight up roll. No pluses, no minuses. And he gets a 6, which is a success. But he loses 1. So the remnant is destroyed, which means that unit is destroyed and won't be back whatsoever. And we get to choose his. So we will take this fella away. Yep, because that'll leave him less. So this guy is gone. He has no movement because it was a success. So we held that one. Hopefully we can come in and kick their butts now. Right. Next is we have a couple up here. I'm going to do this one first, which is a 6-to-1 with these units in here. 6-to-1 for a 4 is a DR4 advance 3. He cannot do a determined defense, but he can do a desperation defense. So he is going to do a desperation defense. Now I don't have anything in range to help him. So he's at a -1 for his desperation defense in a town, which gives him an other for -1. And he is absolutely gone. He loses one and it's a fail. So we go again. Still at a -1. He gets a 2, which is a fail, and lose one again. So he is gone. And then they have an advance 3. So we're going to get rid of that. What we got here? 3, 6, and they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't like that. And they got even more. Yeah. Okay. Let us advance this little fella into here. So this is broken. And we get that, and they lose another. They're down to 23 now. And we'll advance this little fella into there. And this little fella up to here, like that. Okay. And then we have a 4-1 here. Fifth tank against German infantry for a 3. DRX. No. Okay. So he goes down 1. He's going to pick one of our units. Dun, 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 dun. So realistically, one of these is best. So he's going to reduce this guy like that. Then we'll come back here. So it's a DRX, which means the defender must retreat 2 and become disrupted, or stay where he is. And I think he's just going to come back to here. Oops. So he's going to go 1, 2, become disrupted, and he's in there. And we have an advance 2. Right, now we have what? We stand 16, 21 to 4, which sounds good to me. So we're going to advance to here. He doesn't get any bonus for being in there. So we have 21 to 4 is 5-1. We both have tanks. Doesn't matter with this. So it's a 5-1 in there. For a 3 is an A1, D1, advance 2. So he loses 1. We lose another 1. We'll take it off our tank unit rather than our mechanized infantry. And he has an retreat 2. Dun, dun, dun. Does he want to retreat? Does he want to stay there? I think he wants to retreat. So he's going to come back 1, 2 to there. And we can advance. We had an advance 2 to start with. So that's it. We've advanced 1 and we've attacked. So that's that. And all the attacks are over. So we've taken a couple of more victory points off them, which is good. So let's go back to bits I usually forget. Recovery phase. So we can remove these replacement markers off here and here, and just going around to take them off the Guards Army as well. First Guards Army. Right, so that's done. We have no disrupted units that I can see. We have nobody in full retreat, so that's good. We have no railhead markers. Supply status. Okay, so this guy here can go 1, 2 and follow supply back off that way. These guys are the same. These guys are good. These guys are good. Everything on the Volga is good. And everything down south is good because there's this big hole in the middle that they can follow through right over to the south, all over towards the Caspian Sea and down towards Grozny. So yeah, they're all good. No, wait one. Dun, dun, dun. That's what I forgot to check. Okay, what we have here is Tamaric has been taken. Okay, so this I think is cut off. Now let me just have a quick look. I'll pause it there. Okay, so because we hold Tamaric, Taman is a supply source for itself, but is not a supply source for this unit. So it is out of supply, I believe. Whoops. Because the Tamaric here was the main naval base and supply source for the Sea of Azov and all this area. This one is still the Soviets always hold the Black Sea, so this port here always has supply, the same as these ones would have as well for them. So that is good. Everything else is wonderful. Get these dies out of there. No isolation attrition. Spend SPs to flip good order units. And I think everybody except for the Don has been flipped. So we'll just come around here and we shall use this supply here to flip the Don. You notice I still haven't used my offensive preps over here. I've held off until I can get a really good sort of attack in. So that's why. I haven't forgotten. And this bloke is gone now because he's a single-use unit. Okay. And that is that for the Soviets. So they've done a little bit of damage here, taken a little bit of damage. Over here, they've cleaned this out, but of course they're going to move back in there and probably start to counterattack these guys. I was really hoping to be able to just move this guy off, through here and off, but I couldn't because that was a success in the end, even though it killed them off. Over here, we've taken this, we've pushed back a bit, we've pushed this German unit back, pushed and hurt this armoured unit from the Hungarians back as well. These units are going to be a bit harder to hit. We've taken a couple of hits on 5th Tank Army, but it's still not too bad. And we've taken some stuff down south again. So all in all, not a bad go. And the Axis are down to 23 victory points, which is good. But again, shit. I've actually forgotten for the last 2 turns to bring on the Trans-Caucasus units. So I'm just going to, for the Soviets, I just forget about them. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put them down south in J, because I could have brought one of them up and into Sochi before, and of course because I forgot about it, Sochi is going to fall, which is a pain. So apologies for that. But I think the Soviets are doing pretty damned well at the moment. The cavalry guy down here is just being really annoying to the Germans because they can't catch him at the moment. And I suppose he's going to try and head up this way if they don't catch him. This guy will be able to catch him this time. But that's going to be a 4-3, so that's a 1-1. So, there's not much happening there. And this turn, we're actually going to lose. Well, yeah, sorry, we've actually lost our last German air as well. It's been removed. So, yeah, we'll get a couple of German replacements and some stuff. I'm just wondering if I've screwed up. Did I just do 28 instead of 27? I don't know. Anyway, I think I may have screwed up and skipped the turn, but if I have, I have. No, we'll see. It'll come out in the wash. So take care, be good, and I'll be back for the German part of turn 28. And if I have skipped the turn, my apologies. Bye for now.